Welcome to session 33 of Western Wilds. I think Mike gave the name Trench Warfare as an option for this one upcoming, and I think that's going to take some real beating.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and so are we!
Contender. Yay! Would anybody care to give us a recap? Brad, obviously I'm looking at you.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Go ham.
Let's see. Did I get the right one? Yeah, you got the right one. That's fine. The old man with threats of violence and worse faces one broken longing to disperse. His life in shambles, a ruin, a tragedy, yet will persists, shifting to right this malady. He gathers allies from his past debris, promising his best in all that's necessary. Returning from the boardroom, fresh hell in tow, the banker and grandmother with worry's shadow. Drink for some, while questions for others resound. A wife thought lost, but instead she's found. A vow is sworn to reclaim those once lost, after venture ends, whatever the cost. For now a boat to charter into waters uncharted, in search of giants their tales disregarded. Deep beneath the waves the giants lies asleep, amidst a battle ancient and deep. Between angels and men this conflict did sustain, now only shadows are what remain. The guardians stir at the lily's touch. Is this the moment the enemy proves too much?
Marvellous. Feel free to take one of them good temporary inspiration.
Yep.
Yeah, so the long story short, Will went and spoke to a very sad man. You guys got on a fancy boat because Augustine is playing rich uncle again to hide all the trauma. And then you went for a nice swim, and that's literally where we got to last session. So the first of these Aishna Mark 1 drones has just gone override accepted, and is now under the control of our two hackers here. That is this one, which I have placed in blue. You can see there. As if you manage to get others successfully under control, I will also replace the token with the blue one, so you can tell the difference between the friendly and the unfriendly ones. It will be this one up here is going to go and close with Will here, I think, and is going to make some rending fist attacks. This would have had advantage if you hadn't got your hack off in time. Something to note here is that as you become more familiar with the code, for every every drone you have under your control, you will get +1 to your hacking checks to get the others under your control. So you'll now get a +1 to those checks. Let's make 2 rending fist attacks. Ooh, that is a 25 to hit and a crit.
Oh. Yeah, both
No,
of those
it's
hit.
not.
Is that going to be a cancelled crit, Lily?
Yes, fuck's sake, yes it is, Jesus.
Yeah, that's probably a really good idea. You know these dice that rolled fucking 5 ones in a row the other week? They are back in a minute. I have just absolutely fucked a D8 across the entire room. Let's use that one instead. Cool. So, Will, you take 23 points of slashing damage. 27 points of slashing damage. And as this rending fist hit you, it just chews through the subdermal plating. Your nanites are sort of working to repair it, but your AC will be reduced by 4 until the start of the drone's next turn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just chewing through, exposing those, exposing like the actual organic bits underneath, under this, viridian plating, and under the sort of mithril armor that you have.
Okay, I believe I am using Spirit Shroud.
Yeah.
Which means that I need to make a concentration check.
Yes. So that will be those were 2 attacks. So that will be 14 and 13. So it'll be 2 DC 10.
Okay. Oh, I have advantage on these thanks to one of my warlock abilities. That's good to know.
Nice.
Yep, that's a 16 plus 3, so total of 19
perfect.
on that one, and Yeah, 21. Yes, good.
Great,
I'm
perfect. Yeah, you keep the concentration, you keep the energy flowing through you into that point defense system of Spirit Shroud.
I believe I believe that was going to be cold as well. So
Yes, that is correct. So after that one goes, it is your friendly drone. What are you going to command it to do?
do we think make it grapple one of the other ones? Just hold down one of the others so that it keeps it off our back.
So.
Like, I think Misty can take point on the controlling of them because I'm a bit busy right now.
Yeah. So, can you refresh my memory on what damage each of the three others have taken? Has this one next to Will taken the most damage?
So the friendly one has taken the most damage.
Yeah. I meant sorry, out of the ones left. Sorry.
Of the ones left, this one actually has taken a fair amount down here. The one furthest away. The other two look almost uninjured.
Because the way I'm thinking is either it targets the one with the most health, or it zips around the other side of this one
To give Will advantage,
flanking and to give
itself advantage as well.
Yeah,
that's true.
But the other thing is that you've got, if it can intercept one of the ones that's at full health and is about to attack Will, that might also be good because Will might go down otherwise.
Yeah. I can't take too many. I can't take too many of what I've just got.
Yeah, and he's got reduced HE right now.
Yeah.
Cool. What's the play?
Should we aim for the injured one then?
So you want it to close down there with this one?
How injured is that one?
That one does not look bloodied at all. Make me a tech check. Anyone who can see it.
18.
Can't beat that.
Not 18.
Yeah. You would say it's about halfway to bloodied. You're not sure.
Yeah. It was more like you wanted it to hold off the ones that haven't attacked yet. It was the two, and then out of the two, I've just picked the one that's most injured, unless anyone has a different plan.
Yeah. Let's see. You think that this one would be able to close with Will this turn. That one at the bottom wouldn't.
That's a good point. Well, then that one, yeah. Can we?
So you want it to go over there and grapple?
Yes. Yeah. Let's try and spread the.
Okay. So you're simply, because they have the same stats, you're simply wanting the green one to be higher than the blue one here.
Yeah.
Green rolled a 4. Blue rolled a 3.
Yeah!
And this one comes and basically just bear hugs this thing. These metal circular saws glancing off the other armor. These two basically just lock each other down. We are back at the top of the turn, so Augustine, it is your turn. You should be, I think, 30 feet away. Yes, you're right. Yeah.
From this one?
Yeah. If you want to get in with your regular movement, you can. No, you should be 60 because you had.
So remind me what the swim speed is of the.
You have a 60-foot swim speed actually. Ooh. So you basically you are well within your movement.
And these two grappled, so in theory.
They are grappling each other basically.
So I think I'm going to target the other one then for now.
Cool. Yeah. And yeah, you'll get flanking from there. Your other side.
Yeah. Let's do that. That is a 18 plus. That is a 27 to hit.
It shields, and you bypass the shield.
Sweet. So that is one of them. And where is sneak? Is that?
Yeah, you get the sword and just jam it in, as levering into the cabling and the piping of like hydraulic fluid and stuff in beneath the shoulder plate.
Nice. That is 23 damage. Check that one. If I'm doing Booming Blade, that's instead of the weapon damage? or in addition to the weapon damage?
You make I think that is as well, because you make a melee weapon attack as part of it.
Yes.
And then, yeah.
Oh, it suffers the weapon's attack normal effect, then becomes sheathed. Yeah.
Yes, then becomes sheathed in the booming energy.
So it's 23 regular.
Yeah.
Plus another 3 thunder damage.
Perfect. Yeah. Yeah. You slice off it, but you see a sparking wire go wildly off, but grounds itself into the water.
Now I do have a question.
Mm-hmm.
A thunder damage at close range, I believe, is doubly effective underwater. Is that correct?
Lightning
Is it?
damage, I think.
I mean IRL.
No.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
the concussion into the water at close range. No? Bullshit? Okay.
Good try. Good try. I didn't realize you were trying. I was like, oh.
I'm very happy for that to be the case, if you like, Ryan.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't like the way you said that. I'm going to take that back.
Definitely do thunder damage, no.
Yeah. Cool.
And as the attack hits, I reclaim a precious moment of time.
Absolutely, you
and
do.
its next attack or ability is at disadvantage.
Fantastic. Okay, we're back to drawing number 3, which is this one down here. I think that one again is just going to move 30 feet and fire off one of its, I'm going to say acid arrow. Will, what's... Oh, that's not going to hit. Will, this lance of sort of emerald green energy just... you see the rock beneath, just sort of to the right of your foot, just putrefy away into... as this concentrated acid hits it. That was a natural 1. Blue dice is back. And yeah, we'll get to there. It does have a bonus action, so is going to... Oh, I've already done it now. Fuck. Okay, yeah, is going to move to close, but has used his bonus action to do the aggressive.
Undo the 3 lightning damage on that one, because we both misremembered what Booming Blade does.
Oh, that only applies when it moves, right?
Only when it moves.
It does apply damage as well at level 5.
It applies damage on the hit, and at higher levels...
It does more when they move.
Yeah. So if you are 1st to 4th level, it deals a d8 if they move. 6th to 10th, it is 1d8 on the hit, and then 2d8 if they move, etc. as you go up levels, basically.
Okay.
It goes off of character level rather than...
okay.
Let me just find the actual numbers to double
Yeah,
check.
spells damage increase when you reach certain levels. At 5th level, the melee attack does an extra 1d8 thunder damage to the target on a hit. And the damage the target takes for moving increases to 2d8.
2D. I assumed that was if I was a full caster that was casting it as a spell rather than just...
No, it's one of the reasons why Booming Blade and Eldritch Blast are very popular picks. Yeah.
Cool.
Sweet, okay. That is initiative count 20. Can I get a perception check from everybody?
Ooh, do that.
12.
Dirty 20.
Is that nat 20, Rich?
It is nat 20.
Yeah, I heard the intake
It's
of
like-
breath and I assumed. So yeah, as you've seen more of these scything, sort of burrowing, mining claws come out from beneath the surface as this combat has gone on, you clock something streaking down from above you, and there is a moment of real concern as you see more metallic.
It's an
glinting
owl,
coming
isn't
from
it? It's an underwater
is.
attack owl.
It is an underwater attack owl. You can see, I think, that Ignatia is just going to be on comms with you guys. Right, what do you want me to do?
Hack
the one behind Will.
Cool. I'm going to pull on I forgot to create a token for an owl, so I'm going to use, and please do not read into this, this Hound Archon token. I think is going to come down to there to be in between the two of you, and yeah, it's just gonna. She'll have the tools. She won't be proficient, so it's just gonna be adding her intelligence. It's not bad. Not bad. You can see that she's monkeying around with like the servo systems and the movement of this one. Doesn't bring it fully under control, but does certainly add some successes to the count there. Lillian, that is you.
Lillian is gonna swim to here.
Yep.
The water around the creature, the robot will grow cold as she uses Path to the Grave.
Yep. Great.
And then it's a bonus action using both of my sorcery points.
Yeah. Quicken spell.
Yeah, Quicken spell and Vampiric Touch, and that is the last spell I can cast.
Outstanding. Okay, so roll me your. Is it an attack roll?
Attack roll, yeah.
Go for
With
it.
advantage because it will.
Please do.
21 to hit.
That will hit. Yeah.
Wow, that went away. 18 necrotic damage, and I heal for 9.
Point of clarification. You deal.
Oh no,
9...
sorry, no. I need 18 times 2. So 36.
It is resistance necrotic damage.
So
it will be 18 and 9.
Okay, cool.
So this is number 2. Yes. So, cool. That one looks about bloodied now as you reach in. Is necrotic damage, as this thing isn't technically alive, what you're doing is corroding and not that this thing hasn't had a lot of corrosion on the seafloor here. I used a lot of texture paint on those models.
I imagine like that Lily's hand is just turned black and she's grabbing hold of it to try and pull it apart.
Yeah. Perfecto. That is going to be this drone that is grapple. I think it's going to use its actions to try and break out the grapple. Once again, you want the green one to be higher than the blue one. Green is a 10. Blue is an 8. So yeah, it stays grappled. I think as a bonus action, you can see that what do you call it? Energy around those scything claws changes its sort of consistency. It stops pulsing with the heat waves of the fire, and you begin to see like black sort of acid, not phase fluid, just acid sort of leak out between the joints as it uses adaptive weaponry. Misty, that is your turn.
Can I hack
You most certainly can.
Which I believe was tech check.
It's a hacker's tools check, but you are proficient, I think.
Yes, sorry. So that is, so we get +1.
So it'd be adding your intelligence and your proficiency +1.
Yep, so that is 21.
Ignatia is going to flash a genius to make that a 25.
Sweet.
You are very, very nearly there. You can see you are really playing merry havoc with this thing's systems now, and yeah.
Am I also allowed to make a bonus action?
Most certainly, yeah. Go for it.
In that case, can I cast Healing Word on Will, as you are surrounded by 2 of them?
Yeah, absolutely.
You will have you heal 9 points of damage.
Yeah, little healing potion dart in the neck.
Healing dart, yes.
How many
we love
more
it.
spells can you cast?
Me?
So it's 3. So you had a number of spells equal to 3 plus your Constitution modifier of the amount of breath you had. However, I think you've mostly been hacking rather than spellcasting, right?
Yeah. I'm just trying to make sure.
Yeah. I think as far as I remember, you've done Vortex Warp and Healing Word now.
No, I don't think I've cast Vortex Warp because I can.
You vortex warped to escape from the grapple.
I did. Sorry,
Yeah.
I will tick that off. Sorry, what was the thing about? Is it?
So it is. So in terms of using uninterrupted vocal components, it still takes some of your breath, even if you can breathe underwater, because you need to actually sound out the words. So it is. What's your Constitution modifier?
+1.
Cool. So you can cast 4 spells before you, run out of air to do it with, effectively.
Gotcha. I forgot about that bit. Would you allow me to make the healing word a level 2 spell then instead of a level
Most
1?
certainly. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, add another d4.
So, Will, you're getting an extra, if I can hold on the dice, an extra 1 point of healing.
Oh,
Speaking of Will, it is your turn.
Okay.
So you can see that this one here, it is almost, its motor systems are almost offline. You think that a single success would complete the hack. Alternatively, that is also the most damaged one.
Wait, no. I thought the one to the south of me was the one getting hacked.
Yeah.
So this is number
it is.
Oh,
I've been hacking that one.
in that case, fair enough. That is the one.
That was the one
cool.
Ignatia was hacking.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, well, she would have been just following whichever one Misty was doing.
Yeah, that was the one I asked and I did ping. So, but it's also
Cool.
underwater, so it's difficult to see. So.
Yeah.
Well, is that one still? Is that still like very close to actually being taken over?
Whichever one you guys have been hacking
He's close to being taken.
is close to being taken over. Yeah.
Also, I seem to remember I was doing hacking as a bonus action. Is that right? After sticking my sword in something and using that as a shunt.
So you said that you were sticking it in to leave it as a bridge for the hacking, and I said that will help. So I'll certainly give you advantage on the check, as you are flooding it with your own nanites.
The thing is, though, I think that was the one that we've already hacked that I had left the sword in. So that sword would have had to come out.
You are right. Yes, absolutely.
Just trying to be honest.
Sure. Yeah.
So I guess I am going to. Okay, so if it's a full action to do a hack,
Yeah.
I'm going to use my full action to do the hack.
Cool. Go for it. Absolutely. If you can hit me at 15, you get a robot.
Natural 20. So
What's your total
28.
with a natural 20? 28 plus 1, so 29. So that's going to be 15, 20, 25, and I'll give you an additional success for the crit. So you...
So for 30.
no, so I'll give you an additional whole success for the crit. As
Oh, right,
If
okay.
you know what I mean. So you get 3 successes for the numbers, and then, yeah, you got it. So which other one do you want to start on at this point?
I think the one
one?
between us, yeah.
Cool. So that is... Yeah, cool. Absolutely fine.
Oh, I know what it was. You were allowing me to do a hack as an attack action.
That might have been it, yeah. That sounds about right. Cool. Okay. Yeah, you again, this one, it stops fritzing and frittering and stops, like, juddering as your code completely takes it over and it is no longer fighting you. Sweet. So that is drone number 3, then. That's fine. I've been doing this slightly out of order, but that works for me. So, cool. In that case, it will be this one that is going to go next. And I think is... so this one here, I'm just going to replace with one of these. That's not right. There we go. So that is now a Frondly one. This dude is going to... I know what he's going to do. He's going to move to there. And then... where's my cone template? Lovely. is going to use Nanite Cloud.
Well, I believe
so
Lily will get an attack of opportunity.
Lily will get an attack opportunity. Yeah, fire away.
Actually, and I can use Vampiric Touch because it's still glide.
Punch it, Chewie.
May as well. Right. 26 to hit.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
20 damage, necrotic.
20 damage, damn. So is that halved to 10? And then you regain 5, sure.
Interesting, the underwater effect has vanished as you've gone to the this view for me.
Shit.
Oh yeah.
Very weird.
I think I might just have clicked remove all effects.
Ah. Oh, well.
You're not supposed to do that.
We're on a sandy beach now.
At least we can
well,
see.
basically, I just removed all the water and the pressure's about to come back.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Bear with me.
Wow, I didn't know we could get a convex tsunami going.
I mean, that's what I did to one of these things.
Yeah, you did the other week with the
Yeah.
destroy water. That was fun. Okay, so Ignatius Battlesmith, and Steel Defender. That's 37 hit points. Okay. Cool. So could I get a con save from Augustine, Lillian, and the Owl?
There. On. Save. Oh, that's sad.
20 from the Owls. The Owl passes. What was it from Lillian? 8.
8.
I'm afraid not. And Augustine?
I did 9.
Sorry, I completely didn't hear you. Cool.
Now.
Hey. How many hit
Hey
points you
now.
guys got left?
Who's asking?
More.
Yeah.
I have a good amount now.
The Owl is going to take 20 damage on a con save of 20.
Oh my god. Okay,
You guys both take 40.
I'm down.
Hi.
Both down.
Yep. I have exactly 40 hit points.
I
Oh.
rolled 3 8s and 3. No, hang on. What was it? I rolled like 8 8 8 6 6.
Wait, what kind of damage is this?
Necrotic?
Force.
Oh,
Fuck.
fuck.
All right.
Yeah. Sweet.
Okay.
Okay, cool. That was. Is it Misty's turn now? Sorry. Where were we in initiative?
The
Will
Robot
went.
just moved.
This was not. Yeah. Okay. Now it is your body drone, who is this one here.
Continue the grapple, right?
Yeah, it can make attacks as well if you want it to.
Well, yeah, it's already grappled, so it may as well.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
2. Those will both hit. So it's gonna be 8. 16, 22. 29, 36. And that isn't so. Yeah, badly injures this one, and its AC goes down by 1. Augustine. I believe you have a periapter wound closure, do you not?
I immediately
You
stabilize.
stabilize. That is this drone. Which one am I looking at? It was so it is your other friendly drone.
Okay, I would like that one, if possible, to move to the other side of the drone so we are giving each other flanking.
Great.
And how many attacks has it got?
2. Oh, well. So it can. I'm just going to give you its rough stats, which
I'm asking how many attack actions can it do, because I'm wondering if it can do a shove attack to knock the other one prone, and then a grapple attack to hold it down so it can't get up.
If you wish it to try that, you are more than welcome to.
Like, I mean, the fact that we're underwater might mean that it's a bit moot.
It's worth a try then, I guess.
Yeah, it'll try that.
Cool. So it's going to go for a shove attack. Once again, you're hoping green is higher than blue.
And it has advantage because of flanking.
It does. So it got a 7 and the opponent got a 9, so you want this one to be a 10 or higher. It's a 14. So this one goes prone.
Lovely.
I also need to roll to see if it gets its breath weapon back. It doesn't. And then you want to do a grapple check to try and keep it locked.
Yep.
Again, you want green to be higher than blue.
Green has advantage still.
Green does have advantage. It doesn't need it though.
Okay.
Because at 8 versus 2, this one goes prone and is grappled. Sweet. That was. So Lillian, it's your turn.
Death save. Did that do anything? Did that do? How do you actually do a death save on this? I guess you don't. Okay,
Just
cool.
roll a raw d20, I guess.
I guess so.
I think there is a button to do that, but...
It's a 1.
Oh,
That's a
no.
I can't cancel crits on myself, so... Yep.
Don't you have to be conscious anyway as well?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I do.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, there will be this drone acting before anyone else.
It's still
It is
grappled,
grappled. And therefore is just going to lay with its rending fists into your buddy drone down there. That's definitely 2 hits. Which one was that? The first one you hacked is down there now.
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
That's the OG, buddy.
Yeah, 21, 26. Wow. Okay, 340. That drone is demolished.
Eep.
It just brings these big scything claws through the thing. I need to roll the owl in. I love it when a plan comes together.
You need to roll what in,
because-
sorry?
The owl.
Ah,
Yeah. It arrived on initiative count 20, you should have rolled it in, but that's absolutely fine. Because what we're going to have is now it will be Misty's turn, then it will be the owl, then it will be Will, then it will be more drones. So Misty,
So, can I start bonus action first?
please.
So, again, I'd like to heal Lillian.
Great.
Let's,
Oh, thank
Granny,
you.
time to get back up. So that's 10 points of healing. Although I have just remembered that there was something else. Now, can I add an additional 5 for that based on
Alchemists?
Savant? Yeah.
Most certainly.
Spell using your alchemist supply. Yeah. You
Yeah,
could
absolutely.
Gain +5 bonus to one roll of the spell. It doesn't actually say which one. So.
No, you can add that to healing or damage, absolutely.
So you will heal for 15 points total then. In that case. Apologies, Will. I should have done that on your turn as well, but.
don't worry about
I
it.
need to think about it. And then, as my main action, can I hack the one that did the breath weapon that took everybody
Please
down?
do.
So we've got 2 on our side now, right?
Yes, you do. So this will be +2.
So that is a total of 31.
15, 20, 25, 30.
Does the owl do a flash of genius?
The owl can't do a flash of genius because it is going next. It will regain its.
Okay.
Yeah. Very close though. Wonderful. Okay. Anything else in your turn, Misty?
No, that's fine. Just a quick point. So you've got the owl. Is Ignatia there as well?
No, Ignatia has sent the owl. Ignatia can't breathe underwater for one thing. She's not acclimated to pressure. The only thing this thing managed to get down here this quickly is because it's a robot, but she is. So the camera sort of cuts to the boat, and Ignatia has sort of like a hollow form of the owl around her, and is sort of remote piloting it. Kind of like what's the character in Black Panther?
Black
The
Panther?
sister.
Right.
You know who? You know the one I mean.
Yeah.
Cool. Sweet. Okay, so I think Ignatia doesn't have healing spells, but there is a thing that could be done here, which will be interesting. So the owl is going to move to here to get flanking. Then it's going to make an attack on the whatchamacallit.
I mean, the fact that this thing is prone and pinned means that melee attacks would have advantage no matter where it stood.
It does. Its attack is her spell attack modifier, which is chunky. Meets it, beats it. And it is out of spell slots to shield with, which is lucky for you guys. Because it deals a little package of force damage with its force-empowered rend as a battlesmith artificer oobly. So that's going to be 2. Yeah. Then it uses arcane jolt. Choose one creature or object you can see within 30 feet of the target. Healing energy flows into the chosen recipient, restoring 2d6 hit points to it. Effectively, what happens is 2 little jumper cables fire out of the back of the owl into like there and there on Augustine, and just boom, like defibrillate, restarts Augustine's heart. You regain 8 hit points.
Beautiful.
She is almost precisely the right level of artificer to be able to do that with. Sweet. Then that is the owl. Will, it is your turn.
Okay, this thing on the floor, it's got a fair few hacking successes on it, hasn't it?
Yes, it does.
I am going to try and hack this one.
Go for it.
Don't have any bonuses to this or anything.
You don't, I'm afraid.
Apart from the
Get
fact that
your
we've got
standard
2
plus
already,
2.
I get a +2.
Yes, you get +2.
That is a total of 28 then.
28. Lovely. Yeah, so that one, yeah. Again, its arms go slack, and even pinned to the ground, you can see that its weapon systems sort of stop charging and stop like auto-targeting Augustine and Lillian in the water and that kind of thing. Anything else on your turn?
Yeah, I am going to move to stand beside these two, so that I can do a bit more shielding of them if I need to.
Very good. And then I believe it is our one remaining enemy drone. Yes, it is. So that one is going to.
Oh, it's still got its fucking breath weapon, hasn't it?
It does.
Fuck.
Fuck.
Yeah, I think we're going down again.
Yeah, could I have con saves from? This is going to be quite a lot of you.
I should not have positioned myself there.
That's
I'm just thinking about
yeah.
interposing myself. Okay, no, that's good. That's a 22.
18.
Cool.
I don't think it's gonna matter.
So
18.
It
How
had.
do you have a nat 1?
So, you know how last time this thing rolled 40 on its breath weapon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This time it rolled 20 on its breath weapon. So you can, if you succeed, you can halve to 10. Nice. Perfect. Yeah, so I think shooting for a DC 15, I want to say. Yeah, DC 15. So if you pass the save there, that is going to be... The owl needs to make it as well. The owl got a crit and is absolutely fine. Good. It's fine, so that's going to be 30. The owl's actually very badly injured. It's good that it's saved. So yeah, Will, Augustine, and Lillian. Yeah, if you pass 10, if you fail to save 20. Augustine, are you down again?
Down again.
Sorry, buddy.
That's alright.
Well, that would have been 2 failures on the without the owl defibrillation, which is honestly one of my favourite pair of words I've ever really said. Sweet.
I'll believe that.
Yeah. It is your drone buddy here. What would you like this drone to do?
Stand up and grapple.
Great. Yeah.
Can we,
Again.
Oh,
can we tackle it slightly further back so it's out of breath weapon range?
well, my thinking is, okay, so we're gonna get more moves, but actually, yeah. Let's go for a shove attack.
Shove it prone? Or shove it away?
Shove away.
Can we shove it prone and then shove away?
Yeah. Again, you just want green to be higher here. Again, doing fucking work, this green die for you. Yeah, this guy gets punted away. That was his first attack?
Well, no, I think that the first one wanted it to go prone,
Oh, okay, yeah.
and then the second
And then-
attack is to shove it away,
Good night. Ooh,
which will have advantage
19
because it's prone.
19 on the dice. This has to be a 20 for you to shove it away as well. It was not. So this one is prone, though.
Okay.
Cool.
Augustine, could I have another death save?
Stabilize, don't I?
Oh, you do. Yes. Sorry, you have the Peripheral Wound Closure.
Oh, does that? I thought that had like a recharge on it.
Let me double
According
check.
to the item.
It's a lovely item.
I was very worried. If it doesn't have a recharge, then fantastic.
When you wear it, you stabilize when you're dying at the start of your turn.
Yeah, it's just super nice.
Basically, you can't, unless somebody deliberately tries to murder you, you can't ever
Yeah.
die.
Yeah. Make him immortal. That's a great idea.
Excellent.
Doable. Sweet. Okay, so that is which drone got disassembled? That one. Okay, yeah. Lillian, your turn.
Okay, the only thing I can do, I think, is use healing hands on Augustine. So she kind of like looked around, is like, I'm alive, cool, and slaps Augustine awake. It's not a loss.
Does that maximize if he's
Yes, it does. So it would be 3d4 would be
12?
Hold on, is it actually 3? It's just 3d4? Maybe it is. Shit. Yeah, I think it's just 3d4, so 12, yeah. I thought it went up. Oh, it does go up by proficiency bonus. Cool. Yep, 12 HP, that's all you get.
That's the badger.
That's
Cool.
my action, and I'm going to move. I'm not I guess I'm not prone, so I'll just go back to where Misty is.
Cool.
Out of the fucking fray.
Yeah.
That is a nasty
fair.
time for it to get its breath weapon back as well.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Does that heal get halved because of my doorless arm?
Yes.
Yeah, it's definitely
6. Yeah, that's possibly the most.
most holy thing I could have done, yeah.
Yeah. Because that comes from not the old lady healing that Lillian does. That comes from the innate, I have some celestial DNA healing. Cool. It's your little buddy over here now.
Hey, I think we want that one to walk up, grapple and drag away. No, walk up, grapple, so it can't get back up, and then punch.
Nat 1 on the blue there, so definitely grappled. You want punch for the second one?
I think yeah, lamp hit for the second one.
It's an 18 and a 19. Neither crits, but it is nice hits. Very low on the dice. But still a nice little packet. Sweet. Okay. That was that drone. Misty!
Sweet. Do I need to get close to attack this thing? Or...
It depends what you're doing.
No, well, to hack it.
Oh, sorry, to hack. Oh, you said to attack. No, you're within 60 feet, so that's fine.
Perfect. Oh, that one's not as good. That's a dirty 20.
Still 2 successes. Yeah, this last sort of stubborn thing. You can see as well that this is... It looks like it's sort of... It went for Lily to catch Lily in the breath weapon because Lily is the sort of celestial incursion. And has definitely sort of looked over to where Lillian swam away to, but is now being faced with 2 of its siblings and this cowboy man and this banker and Owl, who are a lot closer.
All the same, I have moved away, so we're not stood next to each other.
Absolutely fine. Anything else in your turn?
No, I don't think so.
The Owl will whack a enhance ability intelligence on Will. And that is its turn. It will have to move there, but it has flyby, so it will come back and out of the way. Will, it's your turn.
Okay, I'll move away from Augustine so we're not quite such a juicy target altogether.
Target-rich environment.
And I will do a hacking check.
Go for it.
Oh, that is only a 16.
So that would be... Are you adding the +2?
Oh, no, so that's a total of 18.
Misty was not close enough to be Flash of Genius. You are. So what was the total there? 23?
Yeah. Depends on what the... if it's +5, then yeah, 23.
Cool. You... start sending your sort of... Again, Misty is like the typing on the digital keyboards. You are just sort of like death staring it and using your will to overcome its programming with this much sort of innate...
So I think Will's glowing eye, is pulsing in, and it's attempting to sync up with a pulse that's coming off the robot there.
If you look really closely in the middle of Will's eye, you can just see like 1s and 0s streaming down Matrix style, and perfect. That is this guy again. It does not have its breath weapon, and it is just going to punch the most injured. One of its compatriots. It will have disadvantage though, so it's still a hit, but it cancels the crit. And that cancels the crit again. 2 regular hits. That's chunky though. That's very bad. That was a 7 and 8 and a 2 and a 1. On d8s. 15, 18, still 32. That goes down to 2. Sweet. It's your buddy. It's this one again.
I think it's still prone and grappled.
Yeah.
More punching, do we think?
More punching?
Unless it gets his breath weapon back.
It doesn't. It's going to miss on that one. This one will cast shield. It would have cast shield, but it would have been bypassed last time. But it will miss this time, and then misses again. 2 4s. Augustine, you are hale and hearty, are you not?
Not really.
On 6 hit points.
I don't think anyone would blame you if you backed off for a bit.
I might hack it, given
Go for
that
it.
I don't really want to get close to it anymore.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it is +3, is it?
So do you have hacker's tool proficiency?
Oh, I don't. No, I have technology, but not hackers tools.
So I say I'll let you throw the hack in there, but it will be, I'll say, at disadvantage without having the tools. If you still want to do it.
I thought it was tech rather than hack. I forgot it was
Yeah.
hackers tool component.
That's the difference.
No.
It's like the slight versus thieves tools kind of same dichotomy.
In that case, I'm gonna get in and attack it. Is it being grappled still?
Yes,
prone,
you
or
will
is
have
it-
advantage. Yeah, absolutely. And very, very target rich for getting sneak attack as well.
Well,
That
has
is-
the advantage, so even if there was no one else around.
Mm.
that
Yeah,
is
I think
a
what I'm saying is you've
10.
got 4 sources of sneak attack as far as I can see.
That is 19 to hit.
I think that does not pierce through its shield, its hollow shield there.
That's fair. In that case, I'm gonna fuck right off.
Understandable.
Using
You have a great day now.
disengage.
Yeah. That drone is Gonzo Lillian.
Jesus, I can't do much of anything. I can't cast any spells anymore. If I look around at this, are there any bits in it where, like an air bubble could have gotten trapped or something like that? I'm just looking for somewhere I can get enough air to cast something.
I think after this amount of time, probably not.
What's our swim speed right now?
60.
60 feet.
Is it?
Do-
We've
do-
only got
do-
one of these left, right?
Yeah.
And we're in pretty good condition now.
I mean, it depends on what you define pretty good condition as, but you're certainly outnumbering it a lot.
You don't have what I need. How far away are you?
I'm just going to roll you a raw luck check. On a nat 20, you will be able to find some stale-ass precursor air from before the apocalypse.
Right, okay.
No.
Okay, that's fine. My other plan then.
Yeah.
So Lily swims over to Augustine, taps him on the shoulder, and goes, and just like kind of looks at him and looks at his mouth. What does Augustine do?
Backs the fuck away.
Actually, as she's going over, she will turn into the angelic form with the black wings.
Yeah.
She doesn't look like an old lady anymore, at least.
That will make me back even more the fuck away.
And
What-
points
what-
over at the people dying.
I think there's never been a better use of the meme. Mark me down as scared and horny.
What if we rebranded it so you're not trying to like share oxygen? What if we just called it Breath Plus?
Mike,
Points
no.
over at like all of the monsters.
Tell you what, roll me a persuasion, sir.
Sure. 26.
Yeah, all right, go on.
Okay.
Breathe into this bucket, and then I'll sort of.
So Lily takes a breath from Augustine,
Yeah.
in whatever way that we decide that is, and then turns around, and the only thing I've got really, I don't want to banish it. Yeah, fuck it, banishment. She'll banish it.
It's gonna make a
Chris's
save.
saving throw. Yep.
I'm gonna tell you what. I'll tell you a couple of things about the Mark 1 Aishna drone.
Yep.
It will have advantage on this because of its spell turning. It also has a charisma of 1. What's your spell save DC?
16.
It needs the lower of these to be.
15?
No, it has a -5.
Oh, okay.
It is
So it
supposed
has
to be a nat
advantage.
20.
It
Yeah,
does
we-
need a crit on one of them.
Oh, a literal charisma and one.
Yeah. That rolled 2 19s, neither of which are good enough.
Oh!
So,
Cavitation sort of is punted out of the universe. What I say is, I'm very happy for you to drop out of combat rounds because you only need 2 more successes on hacking. In the next minute, you will be able to make the choice of whether you want to line up a bunch of attacks or disperse away from this place and get ready to hack as a prepared action. Either way, I cannot possibly see you rolling low enough to not get 2 successes between 3 of you.
I'm up for doing a big old hack as soon as it pops back on command.
we can't communicate really, so...
I can.
Oh, okay.
You can still type on your devices and you can still, you can still communicate electronically.
So, like, Lily will type out 1 finger at a time. Get ready, it will be back in 1 minute.
A countdown timer will appear on Will's heads up.
Excellent.
And then it just goes, thank you for the air, dearie.
We will never speak of this again.
Will has only cast 1 spell since he came down here and has a con bonus of +3. So I think that means he's got enough breath for...
You don't breathe.
True.
Yeah.
That's why you didn't get the, like
Joe-
it was like, no.
No, that's fair. Okay, yeah, I'm happy to just prepare an action to hack.
I will
Cool.
do one heal.
Just for the sake of argument, roll me hackers checks. You're looking for a 15 for a single success.
That's a 19 on the die, plus a 27,
absolutely
plus the 3, so 30.
So as this thing sparks back into existence, bits trailing up, it's heavily damaged as well, and it sort of roars as you see that red, those 6 red eyes, as it reaches like here towards Will's face, as those go to green, and it. And everything, all the churning dirt and silt and sand from the bottom of the trench begins to settle down as these 3 hulking forms sort of return to sentry position almost.
I mean, because I've got all of them, I'm just going to get them to stand up and just go in unison.
Do the robot?
Just synchronized. Yeah, I'm going to get them to do Night Fever in synchronization.
Terrible.
Aren't we looking for the teleporter?
Yes.
Get
Cool.
the drones to find
Yeah,
it.
I was thinking the same.
Misty, could I get an investigation check from you? You can make this an advantage.
Okay.
Ignatia says, Sebastian, you get a hail over your sort of internal comms, and it says, Sebastian's pretty badly damaged. I'm going to bring him back up to the surface, but everybody okay?
We are now, thank you, sister.
I think we're good. And I'll give her the access codes to one of the drones,
Cool.
so she can still be involved if she wants.
Great. So she can, pilot that one instead. Cool.
It was 20 on the investigation check, not
20.
natural.
Death 20, cool. So you head down into the chest cavity of this thing almost. You sort of send that drop of angel blood back up with the owl, so it is no longer no longer sort of presiding a threat even to this thing, rather than the smaller Mark 1 drones. You see that the housing in the side, it was outfitted for 4 of these drone pods, so there are no more of these at least in there. you sort of swim down, and it's almost like cave diving. It's like really cramped and it is, whether this means anything to Misty in this scenario, quite claustrophobic, as you are sort of tunneling through this thing in this mess, a tangle of wires. You reach into, you can see a lot more of these little Artificer Tech marker light turrets. Those are the things you took offline with your first hacking check. Now you get a better view on these. You can see that all they are supposed to do is target paint. It looks like the drones were set up to attack anyone who came near, as well as actually some of the weapon systems on the actual bigger drone, which would have probably been the larger problem. Having said that, because they are a factor of 10 sort of more powerful in damage. But these little artificer, all they are supposed to do is basically like infrared target paint to give the drone something to fix on.
Yep.
There are a couple of dozen of those throughout the wreckage there. As you go further in, you can see these massive bunches of cables and sort of like carbon fiber muscle filaments and that kind of thing. This thing is 100% mechanical, but you can sort of see the biology to this of how it has been laid out and created. And also you can see that where this thing was suddenly struck offline, where it was severed at the knees and got a big piercing angel blade through the chest cavity, you can see where it was in the process of reforming itself internally, bringing new weapon systems online. On that 20, you are actually having to excavate. Are you looking specifically for the teleport rods, first of all?
Yes.
You're actually having to excavate underneath it, and sort of come in from a sort of a gap in the armor underneath. But you do find two of those long sort of green metal teleport pylons. They are, one of them is sort of cracked, and the other, the housing of it. This would need work to get them functional, but you certainly get another set of them easy as.
Good news is that these drones have a burrow speed, so we can use those to excavate.
You absolutely can. Just to give you scores on the doors on the other drones, one of them has taken 39 points of damage, one of them has taken 55, and the other has taken 82 of the surviving ones. That is out of a total of 124. So one of them is reasonably damaged, one of them is very heavily, and one of them about bloodied.
And one of them is just fully destroyed.
One of them is fully destroyed, unrecoverably so. It has been buzzsawed in half.
That one that's been buzzsawed in half.
Yeah.
I kind of want to just pick up the claws.
Yeah.
Because of the adaptive weaponry that's in there, and I'm thinking that I'm wanting to upgrade my machine strike to add in the acid damage type they had before, that they had, or possibly something like that.
So you're looking to harvest bits of it to later imbue into your own technology on downtime.
Yes.
Roll me a technology check.
I still have Flash of Genes. Not Flash of Genes. I still have the
Intelligence.
abilities.
You do, yeah. Initiative concentrating.
Wait, no. I've just realised. Could we say that Ignatia gave me the charisma bonus rather than the intelligence? Because all of my technology stuff is based on charisma.
That's true.
Which means I would have been rolling. I should have been rolling straight this entire time.
Rather than at advantage.
Rather than advantage.
I think she wouldn't know that, so we'll just call that even and say roll flat from now on.
Okay. Well, that is a 24.
Oh no! What paucity of roll you have there? Yeah, you dig out. I think you're sort of going into these big sort of crustacean like pincer claws, and oh, I got a secret message. I'll get to that in just a second. And yeah, you do scavenge some of this technology out. They're doing something like
Mike.
they are. The Rich, I'm just going to address you directly, but yeah. So you got the big drone, which is a Mark IV drone. The smaller drones are Mark One, and the little turrety things are artificer tech that has been interfaced with the other stuff by the vampires who were down here. If that makes sense.
Okay.
So yeah, the division is the little scannery bits are just laser pointers on a stick, effectively. But whichever artificers have spent time down here have interfaced them enough that it is almost just putting a bead of celestial energy on whatever they point at in order to get the Amarkal tech to.
I got you.
Does that make sense? Am I
Yes.
explaining that clearly enough now?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, Will, absolutely successfully. You think on downtime you could, possibly not even downtime, just with a bit of work, you could get the, you could probably get another damage type added into the machine strike as an option, basically.
Yeah, I mean that, to be honest, could also be left until post game.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
It's just a purely in character thing of it's like, another damage type.
Lillian, are you doing anything while this is happening?
I think Lily got very close to death again, and is mostly just trying to get these teleport rods out as quickly as possible, and anything she can do to help that. Like, she doesn't have any spells to cast, and she doesn't have the breath to cast anything else, so she's just kind of waiting.
Cool. So yeah, you're basically just grasping these two big sort of metal, which is not a mean feat in and of itself, carrying something of this weight in the water, but it's fine. Misty, could I get your choice of investigation, perception, or tech? I realise I'm giving you a bounty to choose from there, but it is slightly different information.
I think I gotta go with the tech, right? Oh, that's a natural 20.
Okay.
That brings it up to 31 total.
Great. You want a flash of genius or a 35?
I haven't got any left.
Otherwise
shame. I would. Otherwise I would. But yeah, they all got burnt up.
Ignatia has
the owl is long gone.
Yeah.
No, but she's got one of these robots instead.
She could only flash a genius through the owl because it was her battlesmith, and that's not even a battlesmith feature. That's an Ignatia feature. So
okay,
Also,
I appreciate. I was trying to be cheeky. I just wanted to get 35.
that's fair.
I don't suppose I could provide. Oh no, it's a natural 20 can't.
It's a natural 20. I can't do any better, and I'm happy with that. Like, we've struck gold.
On
Stop
that-
thinking.
Struck gold, stop digging is such an elite line.
Dig sideways, not down.
On the 31, on that 31, you have a look. You're looking through like the innards, the guts of this thing. The teleport rods definitely weren't what the vampires were looking for. You do begin to spot like tool marks and it's not like they've left labels or tags or anything on there. But on that natural 20, you are 100% sure, without a shadow of a doubt, what they were interested in here was the solar generator.
Yep. Sense.
Interesting. They're after. I suppose. So theoretically, they'd have defenses during the day when they're at their weakest.
On a natural 20 with a 30 watt. Sorry, Ryan, carry on if you have a.
I was going to say, or they're trying to get as many of these as possible so they can power one of these.
Or something.
On the 31, what I'll tell you is, you think back to when Will's point defense system for Spirit Shroud came online, and Will switched it over from what it was usually radiant to cold to do more damage to these things. The radiant energy started to get sucked into the intakes of the engines on the smaller drones.
Are they trying to set these up across the entirety of the continent to pull in the power of the sun to make it into a continent of eternal night for them?
It will be a long project, but on that 31, Misty, you think people...
Time.
people who have nothing but time.
Mm.
And you were aware that this is Lady Chambers' pet project, and she'd been working for a while, and it wasn't near completion. She shopped it in to get a shot at you. It's possible that this was the vampire's plan all along, to get harvest enough of these generators in enough places, in the right places. You probably couldn't cover the continent, you certainly couldn't cover the world, but a city most assuredly, with them in the right places. I'll give you one more thing. Oh, sorry, Karen, please.
I was going to ask, where the Artificer stuff's been set up.
Yeah.
In the same way that there are, like, you can sometimes identify an artist by their brush stroke.
Yeah.
Like, is there a way to do that with the Artificers? Like, if I've never met them, then that's absolutely fine. But, like, I don't know, is there a hallmark of where they might have trained, or...
Roll me a history check.
Sure. That's a flat 10 for a total of 18.
18 is pretty good. You don't recognise this.
That's
You're right that the technology does tend to go in schools. Like, even though, like, Ignatia is very much the traditionalist brass and clockwork, and you're the manic panic neon, and Nicodemus is whatever shit you can duct tape together. The underlying, like, energy flows of it still go similar because you all learn from each other. This is very separate to that. It's almost sort of a different kind of... a different school. Like, on an 18, this might be the work that's currently being done in Ulster or the Trowel Bowl, but you have no way of telling where particularly it originates from.
No, that's fair enough.
Can I get a perception check from everybody as well?
Nat 20.
One of your robots is walking away.
Oh.
Is it the one we've given to?
No.
Oh.
Walking away as if it's heading towards something?
Yes.
Or
Could we have? Do we still have control over it?
Are you going to query that with the drone?
yes, I would at this stage.
Alt instruction countermanded. Distress signal detected.
What's that?
Can I clarification on distress signal, like name type or?
It comes through with like a designation more than anything else, like a unit designation. But it would be something along the lines of like Bravo team or something, and then a unit that is attached to.
Could I get it to relay that signal to me, so I could?
You can relay it to all of you. Yeah, it's you have command over all of its signal technology at this point.
Okay, and
How far away does it think it is?
Probably only like an eighth of a mile, a quarter mile, something like that.
What's the journey distance of that?
It appears to be definitely. You would imagine part of the same battlefield, at least, that you're in. You remember up at the top, you were seeing all of those angel skeletons that have been blasted into the rock, and the words of the Lantern Archons. And this thing, as I say, there was more of a battlefield here than.
Lily will type out. Anyone sending a distress signal might be somebody important who might have better access than we do.
I'm already following the drone.
Cool.
Yep.
Is
You
it
are-
worth saying to Lily
Sorry.
to hold back, because Lily touching the tech before was the thing that triggered this whole thing off?
Yeah, that's fair.
Cool. So Misty, you're already swimming, as I understand it.
Can we
Yes.
send one of the drones, or tell one of the drones that's not the one we're following, up to, like, go take the teleport rods up?
You can. It'll be a very slow process. What I say is the drone does have a the drone doesn't have a swim speed, and it weighs a tremendous amount. It's going to have to be making a lot of successful athletics checks to get to the surface. it's probably be more useful to have it walk along the seafloor.
Could we have it transport the rods to the anchor point?
Certainly, that is something that would be easier to do. Yeah, it will be basically burrowing into the side of the chasm, and then bringing the rods with it, sort of almost integrated into itself, and then because the chasm, the anchor is actually caught on the reef on the lip of the chasm. If that makes sense?
It's more like while we're away from
Yeah.
it, it may as well do it.
Absolutely
And
fine. Yeah.
Can it go drone we don't control, like me, and then another drone? So we're going in convoy, but there is a degree of separation. Say,
Sure. Absolutely fine.
I don't know, 100 feet or so.
Again, you're swimming a little above the surface. These things are just stomping through the coral and the tube worms and the. By the way, there's some weird fucking organisms on the floor of this chasm. Like weird, like things that could be plants or like worms or something in between. Sort of white and orange things that are sort of wafting in the current and the silt, especially as it's been disturbed by these things. It's been crushed underfoot by 8 tons of metal.
Is there like signs of like contamination of like, because a whole bunch of angels died here and because a whole bunch of like precursor humans died here, like contamination of DNA and like all kinds of weird animals, and like it's not just they're weird because they're weird and down here, but they're weird because they're weird and there's a lot of angelic energy flowing around.
Perfect chance for a nature check.
Sure.
And are you doing it by saying life finds a way?
That is 16 on my nature check.
On the 16, I think that there is a chance of that, but these things would be comfortably weird enough on their own at this depth to be like this. You can't tell either way, but this is not an unusual level of weird for this far down.
Right. So it's weird for the sea, but not for weird for the bottom of the sea.
Yeah, absolutely. 90% of the ocean is still unexplored. As these things go stomping through with their big searchlights, sort of scanning from side to side, you do see bits of unbelievably barnacled over and corroded metal down here. Like, you think you do see more like bits of maybe the legs of this Mark IV drone. Enormous house-sized bits of metal, but they're just twisted and warped, and it looks like that angel fire that you're familiar with has like force damage, as well, force and radiant, as well as just pure kinetic damage. And then you come to like a gully, a sort of swath that's been carved into the maybe like a weapon strike. You were thinking maybe this whole chasm was like one big weapon strike. And as you get, it's far too inorganic to have been a natural like weaving of water through a current through. And at the bottom of the gully, though, is just silt. It's just all covered completely over by the seafloor here.
Wait for the drone to kind of go where it needs to go.
Yeah, are they zeroing in on a particular point?
They are. You guys are following behind it, but it does sort of begin, spinning those sort of soaring, burrowing wheels, and begins to sort of clear debris from outside of some kind of structure underneath. It's not a skeleton that you're seeing down here. It is some kind of it looks like a bunker.
Is this the subside?
You
Or possibly a
begin
main
to
side?
clear more debris away. Are you guys following down and looking as well?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Misty, you because you got a reward of 31. You settle down and begin, like scrabbling and using tools and stuff to clear away. and whatever tool you're using to like scrape hits like ting 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 ting, ting metal, but then something else, not metal. And as you scratch and scrape, what you're hitting isn't metal, it's glass or some kind of clear material. And more of this sort of, structure is perhaps the wrong word. It's too small to be a subsite. Because even the subsites you're familiar with are building complex sized. This thing turns out to be maybe 30 feet long and 12 feet wide. And as you clear away more of that glass area at the front, and one of those big high beams from the drones shines in, you can see two skeletal mummified figures sitting in chairs.
Do they look like pilot chairs or
They look
sitting
like
chairs?
pilot chairs. This thing might be some kind of submarine.
Ooh, okay.
Oh.
You clear more debris from the back. You can see, by the way, both figures in here are not like in stasis or still alive. They are mummified by only having so much air for the bacteria to decompose them with. But there looks like there is an airlock at the back.
So,
Is there any signs of what took it down? Is there like battle damage on it, or
Yes,
scratch?
most certainly. It looks like there is some kind of propulsion system at the back. Maybe like like Will's little vent thing coming out of his back and in the small of his in between his shoulder blades is venting water back out one way. Something analogous, yeah.
So just so that I can understand it in my mind, so are we looking in on this thing, or if we? Because you say there's an airlock, but so is this thing?
The airlock is at the
sealed?
back of the other side of the thing from the window you were looking in.
Oh,
Are you-
okay. So we can get into this wreck, but there's an airlock that leads into something else that we've yet to discover.
No. This thing is
Like-
sealed. So
This
we're
thing
not.
is intact and sealed.
But we can look through the window and see, oh look, there's an airlock at the far back. If we excavate that, we'll be able to get in.
Yeah.
You ever see Stargate Atlantis? I'm imagining those little pods that they have to fly around in.
Yes.
Okay.
That's exactly what I'm imagining.
It might also be exactly what I was imagining.
Me just.
It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I get them to begin? The robots. Can I get?
You
them
begin to get to
excavate?
clear more of this rubble away, and actually it begins to, like, this sort of crust that's built up of seafloor begins to break away and crumble until you're left with this sort of hexagonal but not equilateral hexagonal. It's sort of let me just draw out like a plan kind of thing. This shouldn't look like a coffin, but it kind of does.
That's too blurry to see, I'm afraid. Oh, okay.
Like-
Yeah, no, I get it.
That kind of thing.
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
And the blunt end, the shorter end of the thing is where the airlock is at the back. You do think it is clear enough for you guys to be able to enter in now?
Is there a way that I can scan the superstructure?
Yeah.
Basically, if I were to enter this thing, is it likely to then almost immediately collapse?
So you want to see, like, to judge the integrity of this thing?
Yes. Yeah.
That's a tech check, pure and simple, baby.
That's an 18 total.
You think if this thing hadn't collapsed by now, there's no way in hell that it would have collapsed by then. By the way, you do see a signal pop up on your datapad.
Oh, okay.
Now that you're this close, you can detect the raw signal coming from this thing, the actual distress signal.
Ooh. Does
It
it give
is-
any details?
It is a precursor voice, very, very badly degraded, but it is a distress call asking for help. Our engines are damaged. My co-pilot is dead on impact. I'm trapped here and I'm running out of air. I don't know if there's anyone else left to send rescue, but if you do, if there is, these are our coordinates. I'm sending it via the subspace communications network so that it remains secure. I realize that reduces our chances of survival, but yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Victory to Doralus.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Is it signed with? Oh, okay. So
You remember when you were digging up the cairns outside of the canyon that led into Novem, and it popped up with a little picture of someone? This does as well. It's a woman in a pilot's uniform. Again, the big eyes, the furrow down the middle of the head. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Can I attempt to start the airlock sequence?
Absolutely. The sort of the door opens up and you it slowly, as the water sort of fills it, and then opens up. Yeah, there is enough room for realistically all of you to step foot in this thing if you want. The drones, not a chance in hell are they fitting in here, but in terms of foot passengers, yeah, you can, if you want to step inside, you're more than welcome to.
Set the drones on sentry mode, and just have them alert us if there's any movement coming towards us.
Cool. The airlock engages, and there is a bit of adjusting as you're going from your lungs also being full of water to in fact, there was no air in this thing to begin with.
Yeah, that was my question. Are we going to suffocate?
You might
maybe send Will in.
I think that's actually the play. Send the guy who doesn't need to breathe anything in there.
Yeah.
Will,
Cool.
you get in you re-engage the airlock, and the water gets pumped out, and you do feel a bit of the pressure change, but not nearly so much as someone with a full organic body would feel.
I will also give these three guys access to my feed on their devices.
Yeah. You step into this. It's like a two-chambered space, a bigger chamber at the back, which is sort of a longer one, and then a smaller pilot's compartment at the front. Where's my piece of paper? I'm putting a P in here for pilot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you're in this sort of hexagonal bit, and then this bit at the front is where the pilot's compartment is. This room at the back, this looks to have been some kind of transport submersible. There's benches and stuff in here, around the room and around. When you do in the war film when you see the C-130 Hercules and everyone is strapped in with the cross harnesses to the walls and they're doing witty quips, despite the fact in a real plane you wouldn't be able to hear shit. That, yeah.
So this is like a troop transport thing, you mean to say, maybe?
Presumably, yeah.
But they weren't transporting anything at the time that they were downed.
There are no other bodies in here. Maybe they dropped off who they needed to drop off and were on the way and got caught up, or yeah. You know that the propulsion systems here have taken a real hit. But the armor, whatever weapons this thing that has, seems to all be intact. As you're not automatically integrating with this. Again, this isn't a Martel tech, it is Doralus. And they never cared that much for Doralus. But yeah.
Is there a black box?
Lillian kind of types on the thing, can you fix the propulsion systems? It's possible maybe this thing is capable of orbital flight.
I was thinking the same thing.
Will, roll me a tech check.
Can I assist by talking him through it?
You can assist, I think, probably doing the work on the outside.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's the help action.
Yes.
That'll be a 26.
26, you say?
Mm-hmm.
One of the things you see that is broken is the door between the pilot's compartment and the main compartment. Even if that wasn't the case, as you fix that and step inside, as you bring those power couplings back online, you can see that a piece of dislodged debris has crushed the shoulder and chest of one of the skeletons, presumably the one he died on impact. The other, you can see millennia old dried blood. This person was heavily injured. The other pilot, the one who sent the signal, probably wasn't long for the world even when they sent that final message. If they'd had time, if they weren't injured, probably they'd have been able to repair it.
What
They didn't have time.
did they leave?
You
Any
have time.
messages in their
The
dying?
last message is that looping.
Just a simple
distress
SOS.
signal. Yeah.
Nothing more.
It's all they had energy and time to do. As you... Sorry, Misty, Karen?
Was there a black box of what actually caused the accident in the first place?
Yes, it is not imminently accessible. However, it's not particularly relevant, so I will tell you now just so you have the story in your heads.
Okay.
This was struck mid-battle. It wasn't necessarily expecting to be in battle. It was sort of making a return trip. The black box footage, by the way, is so dark and confusing you can't see. There's streaks of light going everywhere, but in terms of the actual transponder, all you hear is, "We're going down," etc.
Gotcha.
Will.
Yep.
As you engage that final power coupling, and Misty does the same thing, just bending back in from the outside, bending the sort of panels back into place. All of you on the outside, you hear a sort of concussive pulse of... And the whole thing rises about 4 inches, sending this enormous cloud of silt. Augustine, can I get a dex saving throw?
Come on.
What did you fucking do?
That's a 23.
The piece of rock you are standing on dislodges immediately from underneath where you are, and you can see ribbons of coloured light are linking it to other pieces of rock around it. And you sort of hop through as this sort of panel made of fractured pieces of stone with these ribbons of coloured ley energy going between them, come up and form into the shape of a wing as you see this. I'm just going to turn the blur off on my...
I was going to say.
Yeah, well, give me a 60 second. Where's... It's because I had it on for an interview, is why. There we go. You see this rise out of the sill. I'm not very good at drawing, but I hope it gets it across.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
Yeah, and hovering above is a Doralus transport ship.
Okay, I might send a message to the others going, I think I might take this up to the surface and air it out a bit, and then I can come back for you.
Leave the bodies where they are if you can. Try not to disturb the dead.
I don't need to be in the pilot seat to pilot this, I'm sure.
You can basically, lean over and sort of do it from, trying to drive like you're sitting on the center console or something.
My hope, Joe, is that I can interface with the onboard computer.
You can't. It's at least not without days of work to actually get you remote controlling this.
Well,
Alternatively, if you have the remote control spell, you could probably do it. Remote access?
Let me just have a look. I did not take that one. No, I've only got on off.
Fair.
My hope was to actually create a holographic piloting system.
That's
You
cool,
were
though.
hopeful.
Well, not one that I could use from outside the bridge. Like, I have to actually interface with it directly. But it means that I don't have to disturb the bodies.
Will takes it. Yeah. You guys, it's kicking up an enormous amount of debris and silt, and you're kind of blinded as you see these sort of coloured flashing lights rise up into the sky, and actually you lose sight of it very quickly with how deep you are down. Will, you feel...
Couldn't we go with? But
do you want to just latch on the outside?
Well, that or we sit in the airlock, but we don't cycle it out. So we're then just sat in the airlock with it filled with water.
I like it. I like it very much. You guys pop in the back in your little tank of water. Like little fishies as you are raised to the surface. Will, this thing... It's not particularly fast moving through water, but you do get it up at an angle, and as you get up and it begins to cut through with the sharper front end, it does pick up speed, and the world moves from black to indigo to deep purple to light blue to cerulean, and then suddenly into bright blue sky and white cloud and gold light as you crest up through the surface. Give me a hot siggly second. As you crest through the through the waves, and suddenly you can see, you bring it level, and you can see down onto the yacht below you as this thing breaks the surface and continues going, hovering, maybe 20-30 feet above the surface.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll do the I'll drain the airlock of water and cycle air into it.
You cycle the airlock. You guys feel your lungs are still full of water, or if you've run out of breath or haven't been holding your breath, but you do cough out salt water and take in a breath as the airlock cycles, and kind of you can see it venting in from the outside. And do you open the middle compartment?
I'm going to before I do that, I'm going to say, now this entire inside bit has no real breathable air in here. I'm worried that it may cause some kind of explosive decompression.
Good night.
Which could blast you guys out of the airlock, or blast you into the room even. But also it may disturb the corpses. So
you can close the inner door to separate them out.
Okay, yeah, I'll close the inner door, and then can I vent air into the cargo compartment before opening the airlock there?
You can do it in a but bear in mind that there's a vacuum in here. It's just the air is not breathable.
Oh, okay.
So you can cycle it slowly to, and the inner airlock door opens, and you guys can see into this sort of low-lit hexagonal chamber with the benches around the outside. It also looks like this is not just a troop transport ship. There might also have been room to maybe move cargo or supplies or medical supplies, ammunition, anything that you would sort of need to fit in. But this is a sort of small room in here. And then the inner doors open as well, and you can see Will in there, interfacing and driving the ship and sort of keeping it level. You can just kick it into neutral and it will hover here.
Yeah, I'll do that.
What would you like to do?
So it's in hover and the door is open now.
Yeah.
So did we confirm that it's potentially capable of space travel, or is this?
We don't even know that.
We need to do an inspection. I think we need to be on land for that.
Possible.
I
How
think the
big
first thing that we
is-
need to do is respectfully move the bodies so that we can all actually make this usable.
Well, can we bring it aboard our boat?
This
It was the
thing
luxury
is
cargo boat, right?
there is not enough deck space, and it's
Yeah,
way too heavy. This thing is made of metal. It's sort of light aeronautics metal, but even so, it would be like landing a plane on a catamaran. Like, yeah.
I mean, yeah, modern submarines still weigh like they're stupidly heavy. So.
Yeah.
Also, possibly want to go back down with this and grab those control rods.
Yep.
If you seal up the back door again, you can dive and it will remain pressurized. Even you're getting down to 8 atmospheres of pressure down at the bottom, and it's remaining completely airtight as it has all these years. Doralus knew how to make them. You can see the other the robots down there. The Mark 1 drones sort of awaiting, and you can sort of have them load those teleport rods into the airlock.
I would also like to, if possible, investigate the big ass drone
Yep.
and just see what materials it's made of.
Very, very similar to the one you had access to in Site 5. It is...
I would like then to harvest enough mithril to be able to...
Or equivalent metal, yep.
The home brand, or the own brand mithril.
Own brand. Jesus.
Mathril.
That's
Terrible.
that's the mithril you find at Aldi. Just as good, just not name brand. I'd like to be able to get enough of that to be able to up my splint mail to plate, if possible.
Roll me... Pitch me a check, right?
Ooh, okay. Could I maybe say persuasion? No.
Persuasion, no. No, you blew it, no.
Could I get...
Survival, athletics, something in that region, but unless there's something...
okay, well, if we're going... I was thinking maybe investigation.
I'd take investigation, yeah.
Like, looking at the others, I don't think I could use a charisma skill for this, not even technology.
No, technology is the interfacing rather than the actual meat and potatoes. Yeah, hit me an investigation check.
Ooh, I completed a goal.
You did. You have a destiny point.
Do I have to? Can I roll this and then decide if I want to use the destiny point?
You can roll it and then choose to re-roll if you want to.
Okay, that would be a 15. I think if I use the destiny point, do I have to take the re-roll, or can I have the higher?
You can choose to use the 15 if you roll lower on or using the destiny point, but feel free to roll.
I'll use the destiny point.
Cool.
I'm going to stick with that 15.
Sweet, you stick. You do manage to get some amount of the raw metal. What you're doing though is tearing off sheets of it. Leviathan was in your head last time you had access to this, and broke it down on a molecular level and reconstituted it. This is going to be...
Actually, I'm not sure she was.
She left after Site 5.
But she wasn't in my head for the entirety of Site 5. She kind of shut down to work on that thing with Lily's former employer.
You're absolutely correct. What I'm telling you is you rolled a 15, not a 20, and therefore work will come later. I was trying to be coy. Yeah.
I was trying to angle. I was trying to hustle.
I know. And what do we say about hustle, kids? We don't knock it. Cool. Augustine, Lillian, Misty, while Will is freediving again, what are you guys up to?
Lily is busy preparing the bodies, trying to do her best to kind of like get them like kind of laid out and kind of like, because what's left of the bodies is basically skeletons.
Skeletons with a bit of mummified skin, basically, yeah.
Yeah, so she's spending time trying to kind of
You can see that one of them actually has a sort of a bracelet, not even a bracelet, just sort of like a braid of flowers around one. Like these ancient, dry, crispy flowers that almost turn to ash as you touch them. Or even go near the body. But yeah, you can see that this was like some kind of good luck charm or...
important to them, so she takes extra care to make sure that is safe. She knows that they did not worship, but the old lady is slightly outside of that normal cadence, so she is taking time to kind of make sure that everything is the way it should be.
I think you're getting the sense that this isn't like Novem, where there was this grand anger and sense of betrayal and keen loss. This was a death in combat. It wasn't a massacre. It wasn't. It was unfair and brutal and should never have happened. It was a terrible thing that these people should never have gone through. But it wasn't a. It was a tragedy rather than a massacre or a crime.
It was accepted.
Yeah,
as
it was
possible rather than
fuck it. You know, like probably the spirits aren't still here. However, that's no reason to treat these people disrespectfully. Yeah. And you go through the motions of doing what you can. Augustine, Misty?
I mean, if Misty's looking for something to do, I could always do with some help.
Yeah. I mean, once we've cycled the air, is the thing breathable for transport?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
breathable,
yeah,
clean sea air in here. It's a bit
Cool.
musty, but.
Yeah. In that case, I'll head down. During the journey down and up, can I begin the process of attempting to work out if this thing is space capable and how we take control?
Roll me an investigate check.
Oh man, that's the second worst roll I could possibly roll.
Well, the fact that we are underwater and going and underwater with it means changes in pressure. Also, the fact that hopefully it's not leaking or anything. It's probably going to be pretty good indicators.
Yeah.
What was the roll on a 2 on the die?
7 total.
Okay. You don't know idea. Like this thing maintained, like to a certain extent, this might be one of those checks that's kind of DC 5 because it is elementary physics principles that Misty would be familiar with. There is no reason to suggest that something that can take 8 external atmospheres of pressure wouldn't be capable of keeping in 1 atmosphere of internal pressure.
It wasn't so much that bit because but this thing's incredibly heavy. Does it have the power to leave the gravitational force of the planet?
So it certainly has enough propulsion to make it hover not neutral to its own weight. And it doesn't look like the engines on this are ones that are like using air. So there's no reason why it would get less efficient as it went up and the air got thinner.
Okay. And then when we're actually down there, can I then assist Will with harvesting supplies?
Go ahead and roll that with advantage, Will. Or no, roll roll again.
Okay, that's a 20 dirty 20.
Cool. Over the course of your next long rest, you will be able to integrate, as per the Warforged, the rest of this metal into your endoskeleton.
Lovely, thank you.
Augustine.
Having died twice, or almost died twice,
Yeah.
Augustine's looking for a distraction.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether the lure of finding something in the cargo hold or the minibar on the ship. I don't know which of those is going to prove the biggest distraction for him.
Sure.
So I'm going to roll. If it's highs, he will go to the minibar. If it's lows, he'll go down and root around in the cargo hold.
Cool.
That is a 1. I am rooting around in the cargo hold.
Is that with a bottle of booze in hand?
Valor is the better part of discretion.
As Lily's taking the bodies off, he'll make a drink and take it.
You get a little coconut with a little straw in it and bring it down below the ocean waves as these guys are sort of depressurizing again and going out and swimming around in the wreck. Investigate.
That is a 19 on the die for...
Very nice.
24.
Cool. So what you're seeing a lot of is, you remember those go bags from the site? It's that kind of material. Like the materials are the same there, but this is a combat ship. It's a troop ship. It's not a fighter jet, but this is built for war. I'm going to roll you this d4. You find 5 potion of healing equivalents.
Ooh.
They are basically precursor like stim injectors. This would be the 2d4 plus 2 version. But yeah, that's you find those in there's a couple of different med kits basically with those in there. Elsewise, what you'd be finding is terrible, right? Yeah, like PHB equipment list stuff, precursor material versions, but it is the same, like not survival knives or like compasses and things that troops would carry with them or might need to resupply from. There's even like ration packs in here. It's more of the more paste. We love some paste.
Wow.
But actually, no, there's not just that. There is some of the like chocolate equivalent. Like, how like troops are sent into battle, they'll be given like the MREs and then a bit of like chocolate and sweets and stuff to cheer them up. That kind of stuff, and you get like a little tin of like
that the previous stuff we had was freshly machine printed. I'm not sure how 20,000-year-old chocolate is gonna go.
There is a whole ass section of YouTube that you can go to find out the exact experience of eating 20,000-year-old ration packs. I wouldn't recommend it, is what I'm going to say. Yeah. Delicious paste. Wait, that's not paste. It used to be steak. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
You guys, very good, Loki. You guys are harvesting
Well, I'm
metal.
not pointing at Loki, I'm just giving him my finger to rub his nose on.
Oh, I see. Ignatia, by the way, is freaking out and is attacking into all of your video feeds and sort of giving advice and questions and stuff, mostly to Misty, to be honest. But yeah, you, Lillian, are you like burial at seeing these guys, or are you sort of burning them?
I think they wanted to get somewhere. I can't. Do I get a feeling of where they wanted to go? Like where they would they like to be on land?
You look at these ancient battle dress uniforms, and actually you recognize one of the symbols. Not just the Doralus symbol, which you recognize, but you have seen this crest before on a metal wall in a candlelit chamber. These people might have been from Arxancora.
Quite far distance. So she has tools to do this kind of stuff on the ship, probably with her pack. Actually, we wouldn't have taken that downstairs, down in the deep. So she would have packed all that away, but then when we get to the ship, she like put them in like corpse containers and that kind of
Body
thing.
bags, effectively, yeah.
Yeah, effectively. Little nicer in some, I guess, in some respects, but yeah. And then she's like, she like puts a mark on them to say to where they need to go, kind of thing. It's like
Yeah.
a gravekeeper's mark.
Mm.
I have a question.
Please.
Apologies if I'm being slightly dense, but if I recall correctly,
Mm-hmm.
at the time that this submarine sank, there wouldn't have been water there, would there? It would have been a desert or a greenery area, because the drone that we found was fighting on dry land, presumably based on the...
There's no evidence that drone was fighting on dry land.
Okay.
Yeah,
The
the impression
thing
I
I
got
used-
was that this was taking place in the air over the water, which meant that the
That-
attack that caused the big ass rent in the ground cut through the water, making it even more impressive.
The black box footage where it was all dark and streaks of light makes sense as you realise it was probably an aerial battle.
Yes, and that's why it wouldn't have launched the 4 drones, because they can't
'Cause
fly.
they would have
and
sunk.
can't swim. Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay.
Mhm.
Yep. Okay. Cool. Yep.
I hadn't
So-
considered that, but you sure made me look like I knew what I was talking about.
Because, but I am right that, like, a lot of this, like, this bit may genuinely have been underwater, but a lot of it originally wasn't.
So
and
certainly the ice caps melted a lot compared up to today compared to us. So the ocean levels would have been lower. This far out, it still would have been underwater.
Yes. Yeah.
It's possible even actually that the drone might have been standing in like shallows or like waist deep water for it, which would still have been hundreds of feet of water. But most likely, I think you think this was an aerial battle where that thing was flying.
Yeah. No, that's fine. That would have also.
And it come down with a lava bump.
Yes.
Quick question about the capabilities of the ship.
Hmm.
Does it come with a PAYTAX unit?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we definitely need to get that online so that people don't start going.
In fact, Augustine, as you're investigating, you find the panel which controls the PAYTAX unit and flick it on, and Ignatia, Misty, you get a panicked message from Ignatia going,
Oh,
Misty, have you teleported? I can't see you.
no PAYTAX. We're invisible. It's fine. We're still here.
You come back on, turn the stealth field generator back off.
Well, that works.
Sweet.
Hey, we're 4 sessions from the end. I'm fine to give you this.
Yeah.
So, is there? If it's. Oh, sorry. Okay. So we know we think we know where it was heading. Any idea where it came from? Because if this is Doralus and they're still, they might not be following the same Immortal protocols. So they might not. fight
Which
the
is
same.
why this thing didn't attack Lily when she got on board.
Always good.
Does it make
So-
sense that because this
This thing might have launched from Ark Sankora. You have
Yeah.
no concept where it was going.
Okay, but it doesn't. So, but there's not like a course plotted within the computers, like.
No, this was eyeballed wherever this was going. It wasn't like it was set on autopilot. It looks like it has that functionality, but that's more of a peacetime functionality than dodging skybolts.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, that's. I had to ask.
Yeah, and I'm glad you did.
Mm.
Is PAYTAX technology good enough to hide itself from other precursor tech?
It depends. It really, really depends. Stuff like the scrying spell, yes. Stuff like if one like that subspace communication channel it opened to send the distress signal, that was a very localized thing, and it was it was only bleeding out very, very faintly. So they were hoping for someone to be nearby and looking for them, and that never came. But otherwise, the Paytax unit would do the job. The Paytax unit doesn't look like it was active at the bottom of the sea, though.
No. I'm more thinking if we use this to get to wherever Leviathan is, could we hide our approach to that place?
You don't know. It depends what will be looking for you.
Yeah.
We have
Lost,
technically
yeah.
been given permission to come collect our friend.
I'm done with it.
Yes.
Eh,
There weren't any guarantees of safe passage, but as invites from psychopathic AIs go, then
Hey now.
that one was
It's not an
downright
AI.
friendly.
It is, isn't it? I just wanted to do the joke. What would you like to do from here?
So we've
One thing I'll say is the 3 drones you have.
They won't
They
fit
are-
in
they-
the machine, will they?
They won't fit on your boat or on board the ship. And even one of them is too heavy for the light transport ship to carry. If you want to just set them walking to a place, you're more than welcome to.
could walk back to the university for Ignatia to play with.
Yes,
as
please.
treat. Oh, of course, dearie. You're more than welcome to at least one of them, although I would recommend possibly giving one to, you know.
Not
Nick,
Dad. Not Dad, please.
If he sees you with one, dearie, what's
He's
he gonna
gonna
say?
want one. Eh?
He's gonna want one, and if he knows you have 3, he's going to just be very upset with you, dear.
Alright, okay, fine. Yeah.
Might I suggest that we make them walk to a point that's still underwater so that she can get them up at her leisure, rather than just have them walk up into the city?
It's a good
Yeah, that
plan.
would freak people out, yes, dearie.
These kelp and mud and rock strewn robot monstrosities clawing their way out the surf might be alarming, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
What an image, though. I love it.
Yeah.
Cool.
wow.
Guess it's kind of late in the day, isn't it? Because
I think you certainly you would have spent a whole ass time down there, and I think you arrived early morning, midday. So it's the sun is definitely like. Actually, I think you catch sort of as you finish your various jobs, and again the ship comes up below from below the waves above the surface. You catch horizon like sunset almost exactly mid-sunset. There's a sort of perfect semicircle above and below the horizon, and it's only moments away from dusk there.
Right. Dearie.
Wow.
Well, I need a babysitter while we go to space, whatever that is called. I guess. Void.
So rest up and then give the ship a once over in preparation for space travel.
Works for me, said the play.
Yeah.
Who is travelling in what means of conveyance back to Harlan there?
If we are both going back to Harlan, I'm just going to go back to the minibar and avail myself of this pleasure boat whilst I've hired it out.
And no one blames you for that.
No, I look over. It's like, right. I need to ask that question. Right, tomorrow.
it is a new day. If you have a divination, you can do it now.
In that case, I will prepare the spell. I will. I have a wreath that I prepared earlier. She pulls out this big funeral wreath, like I imagine it's just like this giant like ring, this horseshoe ring. It's like,
Yeah.
Deity. Pull it out.
All the
put it
staff
in
here are paid far too much to give you even slight side eye.
Yeah. It's mostly like I guess Ignatia and the grandkids. Like, why is there a giant funerary leaves like black roses and shit? It's like, that's weird. Pulls it out, gets the circle around it, and then asks her question, which is, she needs. this kind of needs to be more of a conversation in some ways.
Ask the question, and then what will happen will happen.
So she will go, dear one at the end of all things, I have come into possession of some knowledge about a new player within the realms of the afterlife, and I need guidance on what to do about this particular entity. Please, will you help me? And that's the questions, like, will you help me kind of thing. Will you? And hopefully she kind of deems this necessary enough to intervene at some level.
I think you feel that cold wind again, as you're so used to when you ask these questions. That sort of just chill, like even in this warm sunset in summer. I can't remember what day we are, but we're in the June July kind of time. And even so, you feel that small puff of mist at your breath as the freezing wind of death just blows across the sea. And think the vision you get is of the cycle of life in some ways. You see the flowers grow up in the spring and then die and turn to soil and dust and mulch and regrow. And you also get visions of those places where perhaps the order is disturbed. You see the like the oil leaking out of a barrel and like the waste and the iron in the soil. And you see the gardeners who tend to the soil and set right what is wrong, what is intrinsically and fundamentally wrong with the garden. You feel that with this new threat to the natural order, the old lady who you know is a keen gardener will be setting things in motion against this new corruption within the garden.
I think with that kind of feeling and revelation, the wreath just kind of dissolves and disappears. And then she will go and join Odyssey for a drink.
Completely fair.
Sits down next to him, reaches underneath the bar and grabs a bottle of whiskey, and just pours herself one, then pours him one, and then pours him another one.
Yeah, very good.
Deity, the old lady is gonna be making some moves against your business partner. I'd recommend dissolving those partnerships quickly.
How unfortunate.
Yeah.
I don't sense a lot of sadness about that dissolution, though.
I mean, it'd be nice to have known this information, a couple of days ago when I went all in, as it were.
I think the changes in direction of your bank have caused her to reevaluate.
I think the thing that crosses both of your minds is not information, it's not a fact. It's not even a suspicion, it's just a worry that might be a fair fight.
Gonna be a brutal thing.
Who's driving the precursor ship back to Harlem?
I think Will.
Cool. Yeah, you settle down in the pilot's seat now, and a bit more comfortably now, and you're not sort of craning your neck to drive the thing. This thing's fast. It's not it's ludicrously faster than the ship will go. You can be back in Harlan in an hour rather than 12. But it is also not quite like the speed, for example, of the Thunderbird trip you took from Fort Morgan to Ragbend. Somewhere in the middle, but this thing is still, very, very fast. And weirdly maneuverable for such a boxy, blocky thing.
I'll
One
turn
thing
on the
I-
Paytax unit and just maybe put it through its paces a little bit.
Fair.
Not fully pushing it, but seeing what kind of thing it can do.
Some of the systems that are online is it does have some limited weapon systems, which is effectively magic missile. It's not an unlimited supply of them. It is actually an ammo count thing, and a fair few of them are depleted. But it would essentially be a wand of magic missiles that is duct taped to the side of this thing, and then if you roll low enough, when it runs out of charges, that's your ammo gone. What else would be in there? It does have life support systems, and actually it will be refilling its tanks now that it is above the atmosphere. And it looks like it's got some days worth of atmospheric control in it. It is very decently armored. The thing I would say is, if you are looking to do anything more than just get it to move, the tool proficiency of vehicles space, I think it is, or vehicles air, whichever it is, would be an appropriate one to invest in should you wish to get a bit spicy with the hotshot Top Gun shit. But yeah, you zip off. You put the Paytax unit. Are you sticking with the group and sort of ranging out and coming back to be over the ship?
I think so, yes.
Cool. In that case, you have Augustine a very pleasant journey back with whiskey and cigars and little tiny quiches, almost illegally small quiches. That you
If at any point Augustine is up on deck, and just off to the side, and no one's too near him, he might get an invisible flyby just buzzing him, just woo.
Very good. The other thing I'll tell you is that during the course of your trip back to Harlan, you can level up.
Ooh, that's dangerous to give.
Hot
I
diggly daffodils.
I am very much not envisaging any more combat today. We got 50 minutes to just tie up some things and sort of get prepared for what's going to happen next session. But yeah, feel free to, if you want to apply the level up now or in the between time, whatever. But yeah, that will happen as this comes through. Yeah, and you get back to Harlan. You're getting back to Harlan in the real early hours of the morning. I mean, even if you didn't have the Paytax unit on, the ship wouldn't be visible against the night sky, bar just maybe being a large bird flying overhead and blotting the stars out very briefly. But the pleasure yacht does come bumping into the docks at the early hours of the morning, and Oliver, the captain there, is sort of, takes his big sort of wide-brimmed feathered hat off and goes, it's been a pleasure to have you on board, ladies and gentlemen. I do hope you've enjoyed Oliver Cruises, and please do sail with us again. Your complimentary gift bags, of course, are with our first mate over there, and I hope you have a lovely ongoing journey.
Many thanks, and I'll give him another 10 gold as a tip.
Very much obliged, sir. Yeah. Augustine, you could see that in your gift bag there was just a full extra bottle of whiskey on top.
The mini bar.
Yeah. Yeah. Something nice like hand soaps and lotions and a little like a little sort of like one of those little sort of cravat necktie things that sailors like rich people who think they are captains have in yeah.
guess a nautical themed Pashmina Afghan.
Very much a nautical theme, Pashmina Afghan. I couldn't have put it better myself. Augustine,
Hello.
can I get a perception check from yourself?
Oh no.
How toasted are you right now?
Not that. I think it was on the way out, and then.
Cool.
That said, that is only a 11 on the perception.
Okay, cool. I think you are you're walking through Harlem back up towards you're sort of heading through the across the People's Bridge and into sort of again that bit nicer bit of town where yours is. It's sort of the middle class. And are you all heading back to Augustine's place to sort of rest up together? Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, Augustine's place does have a flat roof in this where you can land that thing out of the way. So if you choose to do so, you absolutely can. It's not quite a helicopter pad. It's the fact that all buildings around here have a flat roof because they don't need to keep rain off. Think Spanish architecture kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, you bring it down. You're walking through the. It looks like there's some guards standing around, and it looks like there's been some kind of like mugging or stabbing or some kind of event has happened. But you sort of like almost walking past, and you're kind of skirting this crime scene. You don't really want to be bothered with the guards at this time of night. Your foot just bumps something in the gutter. It's a bowler hat.
Other than me noticing I've kicked something, I don't get any other sense that it's just a bowler hat.
Actually, as your foot comes away, you can see there's some blood on your boot.
What I'm saying is, think that my business card doesn't buzz or anything like that before I go in.
Oh,
Okay,
not at all.
I'll pick up the bowler hat.
It doesn't look like it's been shot through it or anything. It's just you can see that it looks like it's rolled away actually from the crime scene.
Mm.
As you look back, you can see actually someone you recognize, or what used to be someone you recognize. You remember that guy who took the deal?
So to get out.
Yeah, the one who had
Yeah.
transferable years.
Mm-hmm.
What remains of his upper torso and head has just been stabbed to pieces. He has been stabbed so much with a regular knife. The violence of this attack was such, and the sustained and prolonged violence of this attack is that he has almost been rendered not an object anymore from the clavicles up. Something has taken a terrible attack on this man. I forget his name. I've got it in my notes somewhere, but yeah, you know who it is.
Yeah.
Even with you recognize the hat, if nothing else.
Do any of us, the rest of us see this, or is it just?
I mean, you do with your stupid passive perception.
So I was
is it-
there, and I remember this guy.
Yeah, you were there. Yeah.
And is it the case that they've just found the body? It's not like they've clawed someone off from the attack and.
There's no one being held to the ground, for example.
Do you think, dearie, that he managed to do whatever he was going to do with his transferable years?
I'm more worried that everyone who got out is going to be after the rest of the transferable years.
Oh, this is a bit of infighting then.
Well, that's Augustine's immediate assumption, going to the ruthlessness of his own people.
Could I get an insight check from you?
God, that if they were having a super time speed fight, then that would explain the large amount of stab wounds that someone could get in a second.
I think
That's 23.
23. You have that thought. That's your immediate thought. and you do get a little sickness in your stomach as you really want that to be true. It would be great if that was true. And you kind of just can't make yourself believe it, even if you can make yourself think it. That does pop to your mind of maybe this was a super speed attack. I mean, that it's not something you can do, but maybe it's something you could do. That is not what this was. This took place over minutes, and possibly quite a lot of them. And your man didn't survive past a few rounds in.
This is somebody who hated him.
Hated him.
Yeah. And I Lily has a passive insight of 23, so she's just like, Dee, this was done by somebody who really hated this person. This isn't like a mugging or a robbery, dear. This is anger. Do I get a feeling that maybe that... No, this was somebody who got out. This isn't even somebody affiliated.
Yeah.
But, the old lady still would like transferable years. That feels like a rough one. Skirting the line a little.
You recall at this moment, Lily, that... Actually, no, I don't know if you would... I don't know if you know this. It depends if Augustine would have shared this information with you. This man, much like yourself, Augustine, lost someone very close in the downsizing. And whether or not you would have elucidated this wish to him, he had not, in those late night drinks when he was a bit deep in his cups, he did confide in you that honestly he would have given anything to have him back.
So he possibly gave the extra years that he got, the transferable years, to someone who had already run out.
Oh, to the dead person. It's a transferable, so you can bring the dead back.
Old
In what
lady's not
state
gonna
do
like
they
that.
come back?
Yeah, that's a concern. Do I, Eyes of the Grave, I look around, do I see any hints or signs of undead activity in this area?
This is the perfect use of Eyes of the Grave. Do you remember I once said to Misty, when she used detect magic on the phase fluid, that the school of magic came back as just null or nothing or negative? That's what you get here for Eyes of the Grave. It's not life or death or undeath or unlife. It's a new thing.
So, yeah, I turned to Augustine. Anyone who had those transferable years, deity, whatever came back real angry. And did not come back.
One
So
other thing I would... Sorry, Karen.
A clarification on that. Is it that it is intermingled with the crime scene in such a way that that's the attacker's aura? Or is it that even by taking the deal, you yourself have become something in between?
Very much the former. You also sense that is fading. Not even as if the thing was here and then has gone. You sense that without him to pin it here, those transferable years won't last. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think the closest approximation you would make here, Lillian, in this moment, is although this is not a creature of undeath, it is a creature of null life. The creature type it would have would be Revenant.
Which probably means it's already killed what it was going to kill, and it will just fade away and die.
I think that's the vibe you get.
It's one of the few undeads that I think Lily is like, we leave those ones alone for a reason. Revenants don't come back for bad... Sometimes they don't come back for bad reasons. They sometimes come back for very good reasons. it just gets a bit messy whenever anyone gets in between them.
Cool. So, you guys get back. You find Will has landed the ship on top of Augustine's nice middle-class apartment. And
Oh, my ceiling is bowing a little bit.
I think it's a well-constructed apartment. I think you're fully good. Like, it's not going to damage the house, but yeah.
I mean, just
With-
leave it in neutral so that it's not actually putting too much weight on the house.
You absolutely. It's got a full generator in there. It's not low on power, put it that way. As you guys get back to Augustine's house, with now a method, you think, to find those orbital coordinates and where Leviathan might be. I think that's where I'm going to draw the session to a close. Obviously, if you haven't leveled up, please do so before next session. You're gonna need it.